Eugene, anything you took out of today's market, or is it just, you know, the usual market noise?
Yeah, it's interesting. The markets started off a bad note with the numbers out of Japan this morning, and also some noise out of Israel yesterday, which put some pressure initially on the oil prices on the upside and on the growth perceptions from the Japanese numbers on the downside. And all in all, not much happened. A little bit weak on the rand, a little bit lower on bonds. Equities patchy. Interesting, I see the industrials were sold off a little bit to some extent. Saw a bit of a blip in Exoro popping up close to 184, and Naspers pulling back a little bit, most probably on 10 cent. And yeah, non-performance from Sasol on a slightly weaker rand, and strong oil prices. So nothing exciting. I think last week was a bit of a doldrum. Nothing happened, volume very thin, and it seems as if this is flying through.
Absolutely. The Europeans must be preparing to go on holiday after the Olympics. I actually meant to ask you before we got into the market discussion whether you're related to Eugene Goosen, the guy we've just been talking to from Bell Equipment.
No, I actually wish I was rather related to the golfer. So yeah, I'm afraid not.
All right, Chief. Okay, so let's talk about Bell Equipment. Is that a company you get into? I mean, a 1/3% growth in EPS, and as well as more than a 1/5 growth in terms of your revenue line in this market is really impressive. What did you make of those numbers?
Yeah, it is. The market was expecting earnings to be in this area, actually slightly better. I see it sold off a little bit on the day, well, a little bit, 2% odd. It trades very thinly though. It's not a highly liquid stock in operating in a very difficult environment. I think it's interesting that companies operating in this area can generate the kind of results that they did. They're well focused. So yeah, in this environment, not too bad.
But he did suggest that perhaps, you know, there's loads of opportunity around the world. I mean, I took him all parts of the world. He says they are looking at Africa, and we know how strongly Africa has been growing. They've been doing well in Europe. They are looking at Asia. They are looking to take on Caterpillar in the North American market. It does seem like they see opportunity everywhere.
Yeah, I think it's if you listen to comment like that, it makes you realize that we tend to get over pessimistic in environments like we are now. I think something that I picked up this morning that was very interesting is if you look at the amount of short positions, hedge fund short positions for macro funds that have been cut over the past week in Europe, even in a negative earnings momentum environment, one realized that there's the level of pessimism is slowing, and this kind of news talk is actually very positive, where guys like Bell is taking on big guys and looking for opportunities.
Eugene, let's take our attention now to the platinum sector. And now certainly things are getting even worse for the platinum producers. We've got now violence flaring up at some of the mines. So in addition to your costs, in addition to your platinum price, which has been struggling, you now have these other issues to deal with. Would you look at the platinum sector at all and think perhaps, you know, there's opportunity here once we get past these issues that we're dealing with now?
Yeah, I think if you look at the platinum sector, you've got to be very careful also not that the violence pop through and make you over pessimistic once again. The platinum price, very positive, is holding, or was this afternoon, just above 1400, which is good. This violence within the unions is a serious problem. I mean, we had it a month or two ago. It's popping up once again. It's extremely disruptive. I mean, the loss of life is tragic, and it builds on this negative. But I think one's got to look at the opportunity here. Yes, it's going to cost the companies over the shorter term. I believe this union infighting will settle itself out. I think the powers to be needs to start engaging here up to the highest level to sort this thing out, because I mean you can't carry on like this.
Yeah.
But the opportunities on the platinum side is that these stocks are not that expensive. Maybe a little bit early in the cycle, but I'm not negative on platinum stocks.
Down, I can see now 0.6% at $1,391 an ounce. Now, when you look at some of the issues bedeviling some of our companies, like for instance, you know, you're talking about your nationalization debate. Now you're talking about infighting at the platinum mines. Do you think there's need for a summit? I know South Africans love summit, but perhaps for a summit to look at the platinum sector, particularly given the other issues, including, of course, the declaration of platinum itself as a strategic commodity, and say, hey, actually, we need to take a very, very careful look at what we try to do here, or else we might kill what potentially is the biggest resource that South Africa has, and has the ability to take the country from where it is right now.
Well, I wouldn't go as far as calling for summits. Summits in general are not productive at all. A lot of people talking a lot of stuff on platforms. I think what you need is very proactive, high-level intervention from government side, drawing the various levels of unions into this, drawing civil society, but work properly behind the scene in proper work sessions, constructive ways of doing this. I mean, the platinum sector, just note from an export point of view, platinum is huge. It's extremely important. The talk on, for instance, coal and the strategic assets there, to declare it as a strategic asset, is creating a lot of friction within the environment. It's going to start killing off investment in the mining sector, which we don't want now. We need jobs. So summits, I don't know, very proactive behind the scene work, you know, a la Kumba Mittal type of intervention. That's what we would like to see. See people on the ground, at the mines.
No summit yet. Eugene Goosen, Portfolio Manager at ORA Fund Managers, thank you for joining us.